Many thanks for choosing us. First this afternoon, Ghana's Vice President, Prof. Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, has called for accelerated action towards women's equality as the nation joins the world to mark International Women's Day. In a message shared on social media, she emphasized the need for increased representation and support for women, stressing that women's empowerment is a national imperative. She urged collective efforts to break barriers and create opportunities, ensuring that every Ghanaian woman and girl has the freedom to dream, the power to achieve, and the support to excel. Stay with us for details.
Women of Ghana, International Women's Day is our day. This year, it is being organized under the theme, Accelerate Action. We do not only recognize the profound contributions of women in every sphere of society, but we also affirm our commitment to breaking the barriers that have long hindered our full participation in the nation's progress. Ghanaian women are the backbone of our families, communities, and economy, of course. Whether in our markets, in the boardrooms, classrooms, farmlands, or on the beaches, women continue to drive innovation, nurture growth, and shape the future of our country. Our contributions to business, to governance, education, healthcare, and the sciences are invaluable. And as a nation, we owe it to ourselves to create an ecosystem where everyone can thrive without imposed limitations. Over the years, we have made significant strides in advancing gender equality and empowering women. Under our current leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we have taken bold steps and remain dedicated to ensuring that women have the opportunities, resources, and the support needed to excel. Some of the key initiatives include the establishment of the Women's Development Fund to provide financial support to women entrepreneurs, ensuring that we have the capital and other forms of support to take action, expand our businesses, affirmative actions to increase the representation of women in leadership and governance, paving the way for more women to take their rightful places at decision-making tables. These ideas mark progress, but we know that the journey towards true equality is far from over. Women still face challenges along all spheres of life, but with the increase in representation, we will hold the door for many women to pass through to achieve their full potential. We all must do better to support the women of Ghana. As we celebrate this day, let us reaffirm our collective commitment to building a Ghana where every woman and girl has the freedom to dream, the power to achieve, and the support to excel. Empowering women is not just a women's issue. It is a national imperative. When women thrive, families, communities, nations prosper. Let us accelerate action for our mothers, our daughters, our sisters, and for the future of our great nation. A happy International Women's Day to all of us. Let us continue to accelerate action.
And still celebrating International Women's Day, we turn the spotlight on women breaking barriers in male-dominated fields. Now meet 28-year-old Peace Ayiku, a young woman defying tradition in the agricultural sector. Born into a farming family, her passion for agriculture goes beyond the use of hoes and cutlasses. She is training to operate tractor and heavy-duty farm machinery, stepping into the world of agricultural mechanization, a field long dominated by men. With increasing demand for women who operate tractors, Peace is proving that gender should not be a barrier in mechanized farming. Emmanuel Jivenu visited the Adidome Farm Institute, where Peace is training, and brings us this inspiring story.
It is a quiet revolution taking place, fueled not by defiance, but by determination. Young ladies from the Adidome Farm Institute, in a field long dominated by men, agriculture mechanization.
for me, the one that makes me more happy, though I started with farming, with the mindset of farming, but when I got here and trying laying hands on the machines, it seems I love the machines more than.
Breaking barriers, challenging stereotypes, and yearning to modernize agriculture, these promising students are crushing the notion that some fields are reserved for one gender.
They mostly say that what is men's work that ladies cannot do. What men can do, women can do it more. It's not just a saying. I saw it on telly myself, a lady operating a JCB. And so I was like, meaning is real, that what men can do, we can also do it better.
Peace Ayiku, raised by farming parents, is looking at going beyond the boundaries of tradition. Inspired by a news feature of a woman operating a tractor, her resolve to challenge stereotypes is unwavering.
It gives me some confidence that if I get the chance, I'll also learn how to do that.
As they maneuver through the fields, they are not just operating a tractor, but steering a path towards a future where gender does not determine one's role in agriculture.
If I am able to undergo this training and I complete, let's say I attempt to do my own farming, I know how to operate my machines, it will make it very easy for me. And so everything here was very excited and I was very happy about the institute.
Oil, at the same time, fuel. So that's a situation where you see colorful smoke coming from the exhaust.
There appears to be high demand for skilled female tractor operators on commercial agriculture farms.
Women have been observed to be very efficient and take very good care of the tractors, the environment, and then the personnel, that is the people on the tractor and the colleagues around. So women have proved to do very well in these areas. And I think that is why we have a lot of companies very particular about recruiting female tractor operators.
These ladies challenging norms and plowing their way into a brighter, gender-inclusive future for agriculture in Ghana. Emmanuel Jivenu, Joy Prime.
And behind the high walls of the James Camp prisons, a silent transformation is taking place. Inmates are learning to craft high-quality boots and shoes, all thanks to one woman's vision. Ekwia Asa Opari Asari, CEO of Adinkra Trends, is not just making footwear, she's giving prisoners a second chance at life. Through her initiative, inmates are gaining skills that will help them reintegrate into society after serving their time. As we celebrate International Women's Day, Sheila Sechi puts a spotlight on the remarkable work of Ekwia Asa Opari Asari.
On our recent out and about in Accra, we make a stop at one of the sensitive areas in town. We're here to visit the CEO of Adinkra Trends, and we're eager to know how she ended up in prison.
Have you ever had someone look at you as if you were hope, as if you are the very reason for their existence? I'm sure immediately the question came up. You were looking at perhaps the attention from your child, your relatives, but not from total strangers. Well, for Madam Sa Asari Ekwia, this is her full-time job.
Driven by hope, Ekwia Asa Opari Asari, the CEO of Adinkra Trends, ventured into fashion to fulfill her childhood dream of becoming a fashion powerhouse. That dream was quickly diverted after an encounter with a young inmate whose life was left in the drains after prison.
Adinkra Trends was established in 2013 as a response to the pressing need to enhance the country's production capacity and also train and provide jobs for the youth. Over the years, we have grown from a small startup and we are now beginning to establish footprints in a very challenging area, that is production of shoes and boots for security officers.
So she joined forces with the Ghana Prison Service under the Efiase project, which seeks to train prison inmates and provide them with employable skills.
Our project with the Ghana Prison Service has the objective of providing critical training to the youth to aid in their reintegration in society. as a lot of prisoners are young people.
Now, she trains prisoners in the production of boots and shoes.
My name is Dabra Foster. I'm 38 years. I've been here 1.5 years. James Camp Prison, or as a prison, life is not easy. Because prison, if you find yourself in prison, there's a lot of things that you can't do on your own. They take your freedom away from you. I plan that when I left here, when I leave here, I will go and open a small shop. Then I'll start from there.
We take prisoners from other prison establishments such as Sawam prisons, Winneba prisons, Ankafo prisons, secondary prisons, Old Central prisons. Whilst they have served portion of their sentence already, and here is more or less a halfway home. So we prepare them to reintegrate them into society. By so doing, we give them employable in a vocational skills.
So this is where the shoemaking process happens, where on daily basis you find inmates sewing, cutting, cricketing hope, one shoe at a time.
If I'm 51 years, maybe 2 years in.
The hardest part of being incarcerated is not being behind bars. It's when you're outside the bars. By the help of Equiasa Opari Asari, these inmates will hopefully survive life after prison.
So right now you can fully make a shoe on your own.
Yeah, I can fully make a shoe on my own if I get the materials.
Tell us how it's like working with Madam. How does it feel like working with her on daily basis? You said you've been here for 2 years, so how does it feel working with her?
Oh, I feel like home because she's a good, caring woman. She didn't even treat us like the prisoners. She treats us like her own brothers. So I feel like home.
What would you like to tell her? Let's say if she's standing in front of you now, what would you like to tell her?
Well, I'll just tell her that may God bless her for how she cared for me, take me like her own brother. She didn't even think that I'm a prisoner. She treat me like her own brother. Anything, if I'm doing something is not good, she'll call me like a brother and advise me. So I will say that may God richly bless her, and everything that she will put her hand on, God will multiply it for her.
The impact so far has been encouraging. Most of the prisoners trained have acquired the necessary skills. The prison service has been very supportive, particularly the Director General, the OIC of the James Camp Prison, the immediate past OIC of the James Camp Prison. Indeed, many other officers have been of immense support to our cause. Additionally, the prisoners deserve commendation for their dedication and discipline.
This is just the beginning, Redefining Trends. They intend to add more hope to lives, especially the lives of inmates, adding value to people's lives, improving livelihoods, promoting development.
Now, meet Lucy, a woman redefining her path in a traditionally male-dominated craft. She once dreamt of steering a truck, but today she's carving a different journey, crafting quality shoes from stitching soles to shaping leather. Now, Lucy is proving that determination and skill can take women to great heights in any profession. Jacqueline Asmayabwa brings her inspiring story to us.
Inside a small workshop in Osu, the rhythmic tap of a hammer and the steady hum of a filing machine set the tone for Lucy's daily grind. With precision and skill, she measures, cuts and stitches, transforming raw materials into beautifully handcrafted shoes. Lucy has always been drawn to unconventional careers. She once dreamed of becoming a truck driver, but her mother wasn't on board. Instead, she found her true calling in shoemaking, a trade dominated by men where she's had to fight for recognition.
At first, I wanted to learn how to drive truck, be a truck. Yeah, so
it looks like you are the daring type.
Yes. So that was how I started my journey as a shoemaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what happened to the truck dream?
Oh yeah, it didn't work because my mom, she was very dramatic.
What has been some of the challenges though?
Stereotype. When I go to the market and I'm trying to select leathers, materials, and the male shoemakers, they come in and they're like, "Are you a shoemaker?" I'm like, "Yes." And they're like, "Oh, you made this?" I'm like, "Yes." They say, "Oh no," they don't believe it. They're like, "Oh, it's neat." Sometimes they don't believe. They have to come here to see for themselves.
But Lucy lets her craftsmanship speak for itself. She walks us through the creative process.
This is a foam board. Yeah, this is a foam board. So I'm about to cut out the size of the slippers I'm doing. This is the size 39.
Her proudest moment, owning her own shop and turning her passion into a thriving business.
The proudest and biggest moment so far was I wasn't here before, where I was in another workspace that wasn't really convenient for me and comfortable. I was not able to keep my stuff there because I'm scared they shouldn't steal it, not until I got this place.
Her advice to young women pursuing unconventional careers is simple.
Don't let the stereotype define you.
This International Women's Day, Lucy's message is clear. Women can step into any field, own their craft and thrive. And with every stitch, she's proven that some glass ceilings aren't just broken. They're walked all over in perfectly handmade shoes. Jacqueline and Samaya Boy's report, read to you.
Now, from shoemaking onto tiling, Doris Deku is another woman making waves in an unexpected trade. At 33, she has defied the odds, moving from selling food on to the pavement of mastering the art of tiling. Now a professional tiler, Doris has worked on major projects across the country and continues to inspire young women to pursue their dreams fearlessly. There's more in this report.
A food vendor. I sell food in an estate. It's true there I saw a tiler. I look at how he was tiling and I thought I can do it. So I approached him, but he told me straight that tiling is not meant for female, so I shouldn't even venture. I met an NGO. They were training youth in construction. There, I wanted to choose styling, but because of what the guy told me, I chose interior decoration, thinking that is a field for female. So along the line, I saw that 95% of the youths found in under the project were all into interior decoration. So I told the leaders if I can change the course. So from there, I changed the course from interior decoration to tiling. After my training from home, even my sister that I was living with, she wasn't too sure that the training I'm going to have is going to benefit me. So at times when I even come back and complain that I'm having body pains, she will be like, you want to go into it, so face it. And then I'd never met anybody who encouraged me apart from the NGO. Everybody was discouraging me because they think it's a no-go area for female.
Na me nso dia me kan say ye mema adwuma. Ba true me nua no na me hu say adwuma be ma betumi aye no. Oba nso betumi aye. Etu ono ni dia me mesua firi ho. Ebedu mmiri bi me ka je nsen dia me nso medi na chi bi.
I actually got to know Doris through an interview video a friend shared with me. And from that video, I realized, yes, this is the right lady to work with. We plan to organize a female tiling training for our partners. That's Ghana TV Service. We're actually working with 2 of their schools and wanted to empower the female to be part in the engineering sector. So we actually wanted to organize a project in tiling, and we're looking for a female expert to train the ladies. Well, that female expert could be like a role model or someone that could coach or mentor the female students to be able to learn more in the tiling. So from the video I watched, I realized Doris is the right person. We actually got to know she was the ambassador for Artisans Association of Ghana. He has done a lot of projects in West Hill and other places. So from there I realized Doris is a very hard-working person. He has the passion to see her fellow female having the skills to work, to be able to earn enough for themselves. So we're very, very happy to have Doris to be the main person to train the female.
A woman in the technical field is not an easy job. And when I see her do what she does, I feel okay. And I feel inspired to the extent that I know that I can also do it because she has been able to do it. So if I keep pushing, I can also do better.
I can boldly say that I've empowered a lot of female and then male. I'm so happy and very proud of myself and my girls as well. They are also happy to be around me, which had made them to even move from their comfort home just to come and be with me. So we all stay in the same home as a family. I'm very happy. So with this, I want to tell all female out there that construction is not meant for only male. If you want to do it and you are determined, you will get there.
Without tiling, there is no future for me. Because my auntie is in the male-dominated sector, it really inspires me in all aspects of my life. Whether it being academic, financially, anyway, what men can do, women can do better. My auntie is doing that. She's an inspiration to me. She's a star, and I look up to her because she's a role model to me.
Also, 65-year-old Christine Mausi Haji Dako believes there's no age limit to the things a woman can achieve, and age has never defined anything. Born in Nkonya, Bumbula, she overcame a difficult first marriage, which she described as a tug of war, single-handedly raised her 4 children after losing 2, and defied the odds to earn a degree at 48 and became a chartered accountant at age 54. Now, rising through the ranks at ECG, she became a district manager. She proved that no dream is out of reach. Now retired, she continues to inspire as a church founder and community leader. On International Women's Day, JoyNews celebrates her journey to indicate that women don't just survive, they thrive. Semefa Kpesu engaged her.
I passed common entrance in the village. My uncle said, how can somebody be in a village and pass common entrance? So he helped me to go to secondary school. And during that time, the only secondary school I knew was Nkonya Secondary School. Because from Nkonya to Pando, that was the end of my journey. So I've been looking at the students there, and I was so anxious that I also come to the school. In completing of my school, I went and did people teaching. And I was in one of the villages in the Volta region. I was doing the teaching, and one day, actually with my baby, when I'm going to school, the children will come and meet me on the way, like jokingly, Emefa, because my daughter was Emefa. Then one day, a woman then in our village, and this woman was mentally disturbed. She insulted me well. And knowing very well that she's not all that normal, I was looking at her without saying anything. But when she left, what I induced from the insult is that people in town were talking about me. That was the end of my doing the nursery. Gathered money, and I joined my husband in Accra, and I left the village.
Okay, now, your bachelor's degree, it took you so many years to achieve that. 48 years.
48 years.
At the age of 48.
Yeah.
What happened?
Because I got married, then I applied for appointment at ECG. Lo and behold, I had admission. So I was working in ECG before going back to school. I started with Institute of Accountancy training, where I had my diploma in accounting. That time too, I started with ICA Ghana. So I had my part 1 before I completed the IAT. When I completed, my daughter was in school, was in the varsity, Legon. So I have to, as a single parent, because I lost my marriage. I lost my marriage alongside, I lost 2 of my children, and I lost my marriage as well. So as a single parent, I have to wait for my daughter to complete her school before I could enter. So after she completed in 2005, I also entered Methodist University College.
Between that period and then the time your marriage became an issue, was it because of the schooling, the challenges that arose?
My marriage collapsed before I went to school. When it collapsed, I focused on my education. I didn't allow it to deter me. I was a single parent, but if I had, one thing I realized was that if I were to be in that marriage, maybe I may not even have been able to upgrade myself. It was tug of war, but I didn't allow it to deter me because I was looking at my goal, and I want to be an encouragement to my children.
So from the ECG, at what point did you apply to go back to school to become a chartered accountant? Because then you became a chartered accountant at age 54.
I was in ECG. When I was at Institute of Accountancy training, I registered as a student of ICA Ghana. So before I completed that school, I had my part 1. So after my university, then I continued with the ICA Ghana.
Do you still practice as a chartered accountant?
At the moment, after my pension, in fact, I came to meet COVID. I came home and met COVID. So all my plans came to a standstill. Defining moments, that is when, though I lost my children, 2 of them, I lost my marriage, but even that time, I was able to go back to school. I was determined to become somebody. My advice is that age is not the limit of our achievements. Even as I am here, if not because of school fees, I was trying to go and do my master's and my PhD to be on paper. At age 65, I can go further. Yes.
Now, a new initiative dubbed Empowering Better Life Foundation has been outlawed in dedication to fostering holistic well-being and empowerment for children, adolescents, and vulnerable communities. Spearheaded by Alma Pokua Adade Prempe, spouse of the 2024 NPP vice presidential candidate, the foundation aims to create a society that prioritizes mental health, inclusive education, menstrual hygiene, and financial literacy while promoting ethical leadership. There's more in the following report.
As a new initiative, Empowering Better Lives Foundation, EBLF, is dedicated to fostering holistic well-being and empowerment of children, adolescents, and vulnerable communities. At a ceremony to outdoor the initiative in Accra, spouse of the 2024 NPP vice presidential candidate, Alma Pokuadade Prempe, indicated that the foundation aims to create a society that prioritizes mental health, inclusive education, menstrual hygiene, and financial literacy while promoting ethical leadership.
We will engage schools, communities, and policymakers to ensure that mental well-being is prioritized, not just as an afterthought, but as an essential part of a child's development. But we must go further. In addressing these challenges, we see an opportunity to empower the unemployed youth and young adults. The foundation will actively attract unemployed individuals to become caregivers for children with special needs, not just as an act of service, but as a meaningful career path.
Commonwealth Secretary General Shelley Ayokobochwe, while lauding the initiative, underscored the need for nurturing the youth as the future leaders of our society, a call former Information Minister Fatia Abubakar described as important to the development of the country.
It is a call to step forward, to take ownership of this mission, and to be active participants in this journey of change. My hope is that each year of EBLF existence will inspire us all by the lives it touches, the opportunities it creates, and the lasting impact it leaves for future generations. And so I urge all of you, governments, civil society, the private sector, and individuals to embrace this vision as your own.
This gathering is not just a celebration of a new foundation, but a call to action, a commitment to building a more inclusive, empowered, and compassionate society. Together, we can transform lives and strengthen communities.
In the coming days, the foundation is expected to roll out a number of programs aimed at achieving the broad objectives of empowering better lives across the country.
Away from that, the Chief Executive Officer of the African Energy Consortium, lawyer Kwame Jantua, has asserted that increasing women's representation in governance will significantly reduce corruption and related activities in Ghana. According to him, while both men and women take risk, women tend to be more cautious and principled in decision-making, making them better suited for leadership roles that drive economic growth and national development. Speaking at the Petrosol Women in Leadership Conference to mark International Women's Day, Mr. Jantua condemned the pervasive culture where men demand sexual favors from women in exchange for jobs and leadership positions. Semefak Pesu again has more in this report.
Women, especially those in the petroleum industry, and building their capacities. This year's conference was on the theme, Accelerating Exponential and Sustainable Growth, the Role of an Energized Woman. The Chief Executive Officer of the African Energy Consortium, lawyer Kwame Jantua, has called for deliberate efforts to break systemic barriers and empower more women to take up leadership positions, emphasizing that a more gender-balanced leadership structure would reduce corruption.
Women have made strides in this country. Those strides they have made, has it made an impact going forward? I think it should make more of an impact than it has done now. And sometimes you might say men are the culprits. But if you have a woman who is forceful, a woman who knows how to handle herself, most importantly, a woman who has command of the English language and can speak her way through, argue her way through, and make her point in such a way that it doesn't look threatening, then you would find women move up. And it isn't just the fact that the woman should be a parliamentarian or should be a minister. There are other areas that women can play a role in governance. It's a huge cake that more women can come in. I believe if we have more women in governance, corruption will drop. I'm not saying it will be eradicated, but it will drop. A lot of women think children first before acting acting in certain ways. So there are certain things they would not want their children to see they are doing. And as I think it's Ivy who said it, or the other Sylvia who said it, that men are risk takers. Women can be risk takers, but they are cautious with the risks they take. And I feel if we can get more women in, it'd be fantastic.
He has, however, condemned the increasingly pervasive culture of men demanding sex from women in return for job opportunities and positions.
Why, if a woman is capable of doing something, why do you want to sleep with her before she does it? Which comes first? Is it the establishment or is it your personal interest? And I find that that personal interest thing stops a lot of women from moving forward. And it has to be talked about. Women have to be able to talk about it because it affects them. Yes, the men do it, but the women shouldn't give in because of probably they are in a position of weakness. They don't have the kind of wherewithal to catapult them, so they give in. It is the same man who would go down the road and say, this woman is a cheap woman. It's the same man. So women have to take control. False evidence appearing real shouldn't be part and parcel of their setup. And false evidence appearing real means fear. So you have a board chair or you have an MD who seems strong. He wants to sleep with you. If you have to lose your job because of that, lose your job. And know that you can build capacity within yourself to get a new job. You cannot give in to that kind of attitude from men. It shouldn't be entertained at all. It isn't part and parcel of your job description. Not unless you as the woman, you feel you like the man and you can have a relationship with him, not a one-night stand. If you feel you can have it, and there are quite a lot of women who have been in companies who have married their bosses. We've seen it. Who have gone out with their bosses. We've seen it. But we're talking about those ones that are fleeting. That is one night stand because you want to get somewhere. He would not treat you well because he slept with you. And the moment he does it once, he would always want to do it again and again and again.
The Chief Executive Officer of Petrosol, Michael Bozumbio, has called for a cultural shift, stressing that from a young age, men are trained to occupy leadership roles while women are conditioned to keep only the home. He emphasized the company's commitment to empowering women in the energy sector and building their capacities.
At Petrosol, we believe in energizing dreams, and that's why that is our tagline. And when we say energizing dreams, we say we are not just, selling petroleum products or energy products. We energize dreams, aspirations of people, and we start by looking internal to say that how do we equip our team members, build their capacity to be able to, achieve their personal dreams and aspirations in life. And to do this, we have over the years been investing in building the capacity of our female staff, because we know that this industry is a highly technical industry, and it is also male dominated. Women have capabilities, to excel. However, over the years, we've seen, just a few women, operating in the industry, especially when it comes to rising to the top. And we want to change that as a company. And so intentionally, we are investing in building the capacity of our female staff, not just our own staff, but, you see this event is being streamed live so that other people can join and listen. Because as a business, we took it upon ourselves to, set up the Petrosol Women Network, which is an intentional, decision we've taken to invest in building the capacity of our female staff, and this is working well.
Petrosol is looking forward to increasing the current percentage of women occupying managerial positions in the company. Semefa Pisu's report for JoyNews.
You're watching Joy Newsroom with me, Emefa Akosiadete. We go for a quick break. When we come back, the news returns. Welcome back to Joy Newsroom. Now, the Deputy Managing Director of Tema Oil Refinery, JoyNews Store, Edmund Combat Esquire, has stated that President John Mahama is committed to revamping the refinery and making it operational despite inheriting a debt of $570 million. Tor has been non-operational since 2019, forcing Ghana to import refined oil to an estimated cost of $400 million per month. Speaking to JoyNews at the legal green soiree held at the University of Ghana, he emphasized that government is committed to undertaking maintenance and repairs to restore the refinery to full operation.
The Tema oil refinery, both the CDU and the RFCC, has not run from 2019 and 2021. So the refinery has not run, it's been dormant, it literally has been turned into a tank farm. President Mahama came when he appointed us, so we went there. The refinery has a debt of $570 million that was left by the previous government. It is in disrepair. It needs a lot of maintenance, turnaround maintenance that has not been done. But the refinery is a strategic national asset. It is something that when attention is paid to, it can actually be an important ingredient in our country's economic recovery. The CDU and the RFCC combined capacity is 45,000 metric tons. And there was a new furnace that was bought by President Mahama between 2015 and 2016. If that furnace is commissioned, it will send the barrels per stream day to 60,000. And if that happens, the refinery can do between 45 to 60% of the national need. And when that happens, it means that it will have the amount of dollars that we need every month to import refined petroleum product. Because currently, we spend $400 million importing refined petroleum product. When TOR is back, that number is going to be halved.
Edward Comeback further revealed that the government plans to expand TOR's capacity by constructing an additional 100,000 barrel refinery to meet the country's full demand.
And then there is plans to expand the refinery capacity and build an additional 100,000 barrels refinery to be able to meet the national need.
Aside this, are there strategic plans in place to make sure that we get TOR to work? Since 2019, it has not been working at a full capacity.
Yes, there are strategic plans in place. We already have a lot of investors who have expressed interest to come to work with us. The government itself is very committed in injecting funds into the refinery. So we are drawing a roadmap on a turnaround maintenance, and we are expecting that between the next 6 to 9 months, we should see the refinery back.
Away from that, the Constitutional Review Committee has been asked to empower the National Media Commission to appoint representatives to the governing board. Now, the call is to ensure enhancement of ethical compliance of private media houses. Speaking at a conference on a new democratic era, enhancing civil political discourse for democratic growth at the UNIMAC GIJ in Accra, media expert Benjamin Ofe-Addo stressed that stronger regulatory oversight will help uphold professional standards in the media industry.
The conference themed A New Democratic Era, Enhancing Civil Political Discourse for Democratic Growth, provided the students with an opportunity to deepen their understanding of political communication. Speaking at the event, guest speaker Benjamin Ofe-Addo, a media expert, urged the National Media Commission (NMC) to appoint its representatives to the governing boards of private media houses to ensure adherence to media ethics.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody on the National Media Commission, but then the National Media Commission can appoint somebody onto every governing board of private media organizations, and is not there to curtail their media freedom, but is to ensure a certain level of ethical standards and compliance with certain media ethics, right? So that even in the strategic work of the board of these media houses, they have a key consideration for media ethics.
He also called for the introduction of licensure exams for journalists to improve professional standards.
And this is not to take out certain excellent people who probably may not have trained in media institutions. But then a licensure exams is a professional exam. If you are going to be a host or a producer on a media platform, you need to at least have passed a certain ethical requirement. And a media licensing exam is supposed to ensure that there is that level of professional standards that are ingrained in our media practitioners who have the mic to control the political discourse.
Dr. Paul Hezwa, a lecturer at the Faculty of Journalism and Media Studies at UNIMAC, urged media houses to uphold objectivity and avoid political partisanship.
We need to move away from media partisanship, and then as media practitioners, try to be very objective in whatever we say, because it is the definition of our practice as media practitioners. Once we move away from objectivity, it means that we have lost it.
The convener, Professor Eche Sekanku, urged student journalists to uphold media ethics and promote civil discourse.
The advice is that we enter into an era of discourse where there is civil discussions, where there is very substantive discussions based on context, based on critical analysis, historical patterns, and observations that can build our democracy, and that will contribute to the growth and the maturity of our democracy. And so this is a time to encourage political civility within our political communication space.
For JoyNews, Collins Frimpon's report read to you.
A team of passionate cyclists is embarking on a 300-kilometer journey from Ho in the Volta region to Chamba in the northern region. But this is more just than a test of endurance. It's a mission to change lives. Their goal is to provide bicycles to school children who walk long distances to access education. The initiative, spearheaded by Ghana by Bike in collaboration with the Last Mile to School initiative, aims to ease the daily struggles of students in remote areas. Our team has been following this, and Ivy has filed this report.
Member cycling team led by Road Marshal Suleiman began the expedition in Ho with plans to traverse various terrains before reaching their final destination. Outlining their route, Suleiman detailed the rigorous journey ahead.
Currently at Ho, riding 133 kilometers to Rara, elevation of about 1,005 meters. Day 2 will be tomorrow. We start from Rara to Dambai, which is 85 kilometers, about 400 meters of total elevation. Then the next day, which is Saturday, we continue from Dambai to Wulensi by car. Then we ride from Wulensi to Chamba, where we do the donation of the bicycles. Then return back to Dambai, which is about 50 kilometers. Yeah.
Speaking to the media, team lead Cookie van der Poel emphasized that their mission extends beyond the thrill of cycling, as the team is committed to making a tangible impact.
We decided that we don't only want to ride for fun and, but we also wanted to do something for a good cause. We identify communities where the school kids need to walk many, many kilometers to get an education. So we decided that when we identify that community, no matter where this community is, we will ask sponsors for donations to buy bikes that we source locally, and then we transport them to the location, but we also ride to the location.
Beyond supporting education, Cookie highlighted their broader vision of promoting tourism, creating economic opportunities through cycling, and advocating for the numerous health and environmental benefits associated with the sports.
Not only to, hand over the bikes to the community, but also to promote tourism, introduce cycling as a way of income. It's a lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle, and all the benefits that comes with sports and cycling in particular. Maybe put Ghana on a map, a global map, as a cycling destination.
For the riders, this journey is more than just an endurance test. It is an opportunity to change lives. Lionel Mensah, one of the cyclists, expressed his motivation for joining the initiative.
So it's not a matter of wanting to be part, but being part of this noble cause. I'll always be part of anything that is benevolent and towards education.
Similarly, Akosua, another cyclist, shared her enthusiasm for the journey.
It's inspiring, and it is something we are passionate about, so it's always exciting to be part.
That'll be all for today on Joy Newsroom with me, MFA Akosia Adeti. Many thanks for watching. For more news though, do log on to myjoyonline.com. And once again, a happy International Women's Day. Thank you for watching.